right, welcome back to what's happening on your neck of the woods. I am your talk show host, Dr. Elenora Woods, bringing it to you every week strong. I want to thank you all for tuning in every Saturday as I try to keep you all abreast of what's happening in our great city in Chattanooga. Y'all, we have done it again. Chattanooga just cannot stay out of the news. We just cannot stop doing what we're doing to make the community better. And I want to tell you that the Chattanooga Scenic City chapter of Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee, is now officially a Chattanooga chapter of the National Action Network. So I want to give you all a round of applause for being there with us this past Saturday as we were inducted and sworn in. It was an amazing event. All of our people that came to watch on, I want to thank you all for witnessing the swearing in of all of our officers. It was just fantastic. We had a great reception there afterwards. And so I want to play a little clip of it. I want to thank our person that was there, Bishop Kevin Adams, who swore all of us in. He is just an amazing person. We're going to show you all a little clip of this. They were joking with me about something before we came on the show. I'm not going to even go there, Michael, but go ahead and show them the clip.
Let's give Miss Huff a hand. She did a beautiful job. I feel fired up. We're ready to go in Chattanooga, and we thank God for Middle Tennessee and all that it's doing and what's about to happen here in Chattanooga. So I consider this an honor. Certainly we admire Reverend Al Sharpton and all the great work that he's done for so many years, and to be a part of that. Now, certainly if there ever was a time that we needed it before, we sure do need it now. And so we will go ahead with the swearing in of the officers and the different board members, and also those who perhaps may be here standing in the place of those who are to be installed. So I would ask at this time, would all of you all raise your right hand, and would you repeat after me? I, and say your name. All right. All right. Do solemnly swear to uphold the mission and values of the National Action Network. To serve with integrity, dedication, and commitment to justice. And to work tirelessly to support the Chattanooga community. Advocating for civil rights, equality, and the empowerment of all people. To do the best of my abilities. So help me God. Amen. Amen. So we want to say at this particular time, congratulations to each and every one of you. And by the authority vested in me, it is my duty, my honor at this time to welcome you as the officers and the board members of the National Action Network of Chattanooga Chapter. Let's give them a hand.
All right. You all have seen and witnessed the swearing in of our officers. It was a beautiful event. And I just want to call out the officers that will be serving on the board. Of course, this is a founding chapter. So all of the members who got their membership on or before the October 26th date are founding members or chartered members of the Chattanooga Scenic City, Tennessee chapter of the National Action Network. So I want to give you all a round of applause. We had over 45 members that were chartered members, and they will be receiving their cards within the next 3 to 4 weeks from the national office. And we've had many more to join after that ceremony. So we want to thank all of you, and many calls are coming in where folks want to pay their dues to be a member. It is $25 annually. And y'all know we go to McDonald's and Burger Kings and Taco Bell and everywhere else and spend $25 in one time at one time. So to join a civil rights organization that is all about the empowerment of all people and to protect the civil rights, equality, and equity of all people, $25 is a very small sacrifice. And we have so many programs and so many committees that if you wanted to get involved, we sure can find a place for you. But I want to name all of our founding officers. Of course, it's myself, Dr. Elenora Woods, as the founding president. Our vice president is Gloria Thompson. Our secretary is Danielle Robinson. Our treasurer is Linda Barber. Our assistant treasurer is Mrs. I'm going to say her name, Jamikia Martin. And we have a committee chair for the immigration. She's an immigration specialist, and her name is Samari Hernandez. And we also have a political action committee chair, Mr. James Gilliam. Many more are being added as they are seeking these positions as we are speaking now. And so I want to just say, give you all a little information about what National Action Network stands for and the type of work that we will be doing in Chattanooga and the surrounding area. Number one, maybe not number one or not in this order, but one of the things that we will be doing is record expungement. We'll be working with local attorneys, judges, and the district attorney's office to help people with criminal records get those records expunged. And a lot of people don't know that some of the things that were dropped are still on their record. So as we work with them, we will be helping individuals to move forward in their life, to rebuild their lives, and to secure employment. The other thing is just driver's license issues. We know that a lot of people have lost their license, so we'll be working with the individuals to help them get their license reinstated, to help them navigate the legal processes needed to regain their driving privileges. Job assistance. One of the things that we'll be offering, and we'll have a huge announcement of our first big event in January of 2025, is this job assistance, offering job placement services for those with felonies, even people that have convicted felony records. Life is not over. You've served your time, and now it's time to move on. We want to help you and get back into the community and become a meaningful citizen in our community. Also, credit repair and financial literacy. I've contacted several individuals. That is their job. They work for financial institutions and they want to come out and do seminars to help people understand how credit works, how to repair their credit, and how they can move on to becoming better. I call them stewards of their money. And the other thing that we'll be working on is youth and educational support. We'll be assisting school-aged children with the individualized educational programs. You all know it as IEPs, offering tutoring and supporting educational advancement for our youth. And then the ministry committees for women and men, addressing the unique spiritual and practical needs of men and women in the community, with separate committees focusing on each group needs. The Chattanooga chapter will also house a variety of committees to ensure that we remain focused and responsive to the evolving needs of the community. And these committees will include the Education Committee, the Criminal Justice Committee, the Legal Team, the Crisis Response Committee, Health and Wellness Committee, Political Action Committee, the Press and Public Relations Committee, the Financial Committee, and the Planning Committee. These committees line up directly with our national focus and guidelines, and we will be working directly with the national office to make sure that we are doing the things that the National Action Network stands for, to make sure that our community is being served in those areas. So I want to say the Chattanooga Scenic City, Hamilton County, Tennessee chapter of the National Action Network, we are here And we are here in Tennessee, joining the Middle Tennessee chapter, joining the West Tennessee chapter in Memphis, and the East Tennessee chapter in Knoxville. We are moving, we are forging ahead. We have great people on board. We are engaging with our ministers because they are a critical component to making sure that we are doing things God's way. And I think that is one thing that is missing in a lot of organizations. If you forget to put God first, sometimes you can lose focus. And you all know me, and you all know how I am about the Lord. We will be putting him first in everything that we do. It is not just an organization to help people when they find themselves in trouble with the law. We're going to be engaging people and empowering our people so that they can live productive lives and they can become independent. That's what the word is, independent. And so we will be doing those things in those critical areas, and we need your support. We need your help. People are calling saying, where can I fit in? And I'm saying, what do you like to do? Because we have a host or a plethora of committees and events that we're going to be having that you can be a part of, and we want to include you. So a lot of phone calls have already been made to our elected officials, to those that are in power, to make sure that we are successful. It's about building relationships. It is not about tearing down relationships. It's about building relationships, working together, especially with those in power, to educate not only us, but to educate them. Because I think sometimes we forget that there are people in power that need to be educated about what is going on in our community. And then, and only then, they can help and join in to make it better. So for those who are listening, our district attorney, our judges, our attorneys, our ministers, people in the financial institution, people in the spiritual realm, people who are in education, all of these folks, we are asking you to please become a part of the National Action Network, because we'll be kicking off a big event in January. We have already secured folks to help with record expungement, also with the job fair component in January, getting employers to come out and set up stations for you. So we're asking you on that day, when we make the final announcement on the date for the job fair, that you all come dressed for success and that you have your resume in hand, because they'll be doing on-site interviews and hiring you on the spot for these jobs. So we want you to come out prepared, suited and booted, as they say, and ready to get these jobs. Also, we want to make sure that you all understand that NAN will be doing great things in this community to help our children in the area of education, because we know Tennessee struggles, but we're getting better. We're getting funds in this state to help our public education, which is a very important institution for our children, especially folks who are in underserved communities. It's very important that they get the resources that they need so that they can also be successful in life. So we're going to be doing a thing. We got boots on the ground. I wanted to show off my NAN, Scenic City NAN t-shirt. We got them for sale. If you are a member, these t-shirts are $10. If you are not a member and you want a t-shirt, they are $20. So get your membership and get these t-shirts for $10 as a member. All right. So we want you all to get it. It's absolutely beautiful. It is the Chattanooga, Tennessee Scenic City chapter of the National Action Network, where our founder, our national founder, Reverend Al Sharpton, would say, no justice, no peace. And that's the realm that we are in. And we're going to be seeking justice wherever there is injustice. We'll be seeking equality wherever there's inequality. We'll be seeking equity wherever there is inequity. But we're going to use the laws. We're going to do it by the book. And we're going to do it in such a way that we will be successful. You all know my track record. We will be successful because we have laws on the book that protect your civil rights And we're going to make sure that if you're violated, and we've done our homework, and we are certain that you indeed have been violated, that we get the right people on board, we get the right people in the room, and we solve those type of violations and infractions. So yes, Dr. Woods will be calling the Fraternal Order of Police, because that is one area that we're having issues with around the country. We want to make sure that they're working with us and not against us. We want to understand how they work. We want them to come out and do seminars on how to engage with officers once you've been pulled over, or once you find yourself in a situation where you have to be either taken in or whatever. We want to make sure that the behavior on both sides of the equation is done decent and in order. So we will be working with the Fraternal Order of Police. I got that on my list to call the president of the Fraternal Order of Police. I'm not afraid of anybody. You all know me. I'm not afraid to talk to power. I'm not afraid to speak truth to power. And whenever you speak truth to power, truth always prevails. And so I'm very excited about the opportunity to make these relationships, to build these relationships, as we move forward with making this community a better place to live, a safer place to live, and a place where all people have the same opportunities to succeed in life. And that's what it's all about. And one of the other things that I want to say while we're on this issue, if you have not voted and you are registered to vote, what are you waiting on? You know, we've had early vote, and now that period has ended in Tennessee, at least in Hamilton County. So now on November the 5th, which is Tuesday, you have that last opportunity to go and speak your mind. Speak your mind, as they say. So before you go, find out today, before Tuesday, where you're supposed to be. Call the election commission. Go online, look up, put your address in, put your name in. See where they have you registered to vote and where you're supposed to go, what precinct you're supposed to be in, so that you won't show up at the wrong place. We have that to happen a lot. But if you show up at the wrong place and you don't know where you're supposed to be, and no one will help you find out where you're supposed to be, then I would ask you to tell the people who are there in control to give you what we call a provisional ballot. A provisional ballot will allow you to vote. And then after the vote is done, they will pull those provisional ballots out and count them. You can challenge them also during the election process. So we don't go home and not vote. You get you a provisional ballot. If you don't know where you're supposed to be and they can't show you, and you don't have a way to get where you're supposed to be because you're in the wrong community, the wrong precinct, or whatever, then I ask you to get a provisional ballot and vote anyway. As my grandma would say, vote anyhow. Vote anyhow. But don't go home without voting. This is probably one of the most important election seasons of our life. It is historical, and we want to make sure that your voice is heard. I don't know what your voice is going to say, but I can tell you this. It needs to say something. It needs to say something. Why? Because we have fought too long and too hard. We have lost lives. We have shed blood for the right, because there was once upon a time you didn't have the right to go look for your precinct and vote. You couldn't even go to the polls and vote. You were denied that. It wasn't a right. But now that people have died and lost blood and for the right, just for the right to be able to voice your opinion, don't squander that. If you have registered to vote, go in and vote. Some people say, well, I don't know all the people on the ballot. Well, vote for the people you do know. Vote for them. Vote your conscience. If you're a Republican, vote Republican. And if you're a Democrat, vote Democrat. If you're a Republican and you say, I want to vote for a Democrat, then vote for the Democrat. If you're a Republican, you say, well, I want to vote for this Republican. Vote, but do vote your conscience. vote your mind, vote your heart. God will give you that what you need inside of you to say what you need to do. But do one thing, don't vote against your own interests. I can't stand that. When people vote against what's in their best interest, what's going to be best for them and their family. That means your children and your grandchildren, your grandparents, your great grandparents, people that you love. Why would you vote for someone who does not have your best interest and your family interest at heart? That's called insanity a little bit, right? So we want to make sure that when we vote with a sane mind and that we're voting for people who are going to do what's in the best interest for us and our loved ones. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But Chattanooga National Action Network is in the house. And yes, we are on the front page of the Chattanooga News Chronicle. Get your copy today. Get your copy today. Extra, extra. Read all about it. We're on 3 pages, and the color of those photographs, I'd like to give a tribute, a thank you to CEO and owner and founder of the Chattanooga News Chronicle, Mr. John Edwards, for doing such a beautiful story on the Chattanooga National Action Network Chattanooga chapter here. The spread was beautiful, over 3 pages of information for you. So if you want to know what we're doing, if you want to know anything about our officers or who they are, pick up the Chattanooga News Chronicle. And don't just pick up the News Chronicle. See what you can do to help the News Chronicle. This is the only Black-owned print newspaper in Chattanooga, and they have been around for decades. And they are publishing information that is extremely helpful for the African American community and the underprivileged and all of those who are doing great things in this city and around this country. And we don't need to lose a valuable paper such as the Chattanooga News Chronicle. So I am very much aware of what you need, Mr. John Edwards and Miss Faith Edwards, for your newspaper. And I have sent a email or a text to you saying, what can we do to ensure that you continue to thrive and that your paper continues to print and continue to keep us educated and informed about what's going on in our community. So I salute you for the many, many years that you have kept this community abreast. And I wish you many, many more years of success. And we're going to do some things to make sure, at least I am going to do some things that I know I can do to help empower your paper as far as I know. So thank you again for featuring the National Action Network Chattanooga chapter in your paper in this week's edition. You can also go online and read about it. They have an online version of this newspaper. And so I thank you. And that brings me to the next topic today. Chattanooga Action Network is in the house, but guess what else is in the house? The 10th annual Chattanooga Humanitarian Award Gala. It is going on this month. This is officially November, and November is the month that it is going down. Yes, and we are excited about it. We got an awesome band that's going to be performing. Brian Clay's group Groove is going to be in the house, and also our host, our master of ceremony, is hosted by Mr. Carol Tate, who is a member of the Scenic City Heroes American Legion post number 291. We are excited about it because also this year, like I said, is our 10th annual event. We've been doing this for 10 years. We have been celebrating the humanitarians of Chattanooga for 10 years. I started this 10 years ago because I recognize the need for people who are doing things in this city to be recognized, because Humanitarians and philanthropists never pat themselves on the back. But guess what? They deserve to be recognized for what they're doing. So how do we recognize them? Some of them have gotten keys to the city in the past. We always make sure that they get a proclamation from both of our mayors, the city and the county mayor. And this year, we're adding the governor of Tennessee, Mr. Lee, to the equation. We have some very important people. Every year, they're very important, but we have some very outstanding humanitarians that we are honoring this year, starting with our civil rights activist and our historian of this community, Mr. John Edwards the third. And then Mr. Reverend Leroy Griffith, he and his wife, Gloria Griffith, were the first interracial couple to be recorded in the state of Tennessee as being a married couple in this state. We're going to celebrate him. He is not only breaking boundaries with black and white issues, but he is an amazing civil rights activist. His walk, I've got a stack of stuff that he presented to me that he has done in this city with civil rights activism, and I'm just blown away. He is a reverend as well, and he has done so much, not just with civil rights, but just things in general in his life to improve the quality of life for the underprivileged people and also people who don't have, that would not have had he not stepped in the way, especially on the West Side Project. If you all have ever lived in College Hills Court, you know Reverend Leroy Griffith, because he has a church right there. He had the Newton daycare center there, and most of you went to school there. That was his school. And I'm telling you, he has poured out love to those folks. I lived in the West Side Projects too. I know him. I know him very well. I have attended his church. I didn't go to his school, but I attended his church, and his mom, his wife, and he are some of the most beautiful people in the world. And I want to thank him for all that he has done to improve the quality of life for the people in this city. Also, the infamous, renowned actress, producer, CEO, Bravo's #1 hit show, Married to Medicine founder Mariah Huck will be in the house. I am excited. She is one of our honorees. She went to Brainerd High School. She is from Chattanooga. And I can tell you right now, this woman right here, even though she's famous and a big celebrity in Hollywood and all around the world, she has sowed seeds back. Little do we know how much Mariah Huck has contributed to the underserved, the underprivileged, the poor, the folks who have needed her. She has given so much that it blows my mind. And I want to thank her because, like I said, humanitarians and philanthropists, they never toot their own horn. They never brag about what they've done, but they are doing things every day, giving their own resources to help their fellow man, to help the little man, to give back to some child that would not have an opportunity. Mariah has done that, and I thank her for not forgetting where she came from. She is so seasoned into this city. So, Mariah, you know I'm pulling for some big stuff for you because I have seen you in action. I know the people's lives that you have touched. I know the trajectory that you have changed for so many people who would have fallen by the wayside, but you picked them up and you gave them a chance. When I visited you in Atlanta, I was just blown away by the people that you've hired, your cooks, your servants, those people who keep your house, your yard keeper. These folks come from nothing, some of them, and you have given them opportunities in employment with you and your company. I want to thank you for giving them the opportunity to thrive. And I know you pay them good because they were smiling and they were having a good time doing the stuff that they do every day for you. So I thank you for that. And then there is Mr. Herbert Book. You all know him as Book McCray, who has done so much with our kids in this community with his mentorship, Boys to Men. I want to thank you. not only for the Boys to Men Mentorship Program, for all the educational things that you have done to move our kids to the next level. And your hand stays on those kids from little boys all the way up till they finish school. And you continue to inspire, you continue to mentor them, not just in the community, but in your church. The things that you're doing to touch the people's lives in your church. You are an amazing man of God. And I thank you for giving back, giving your own resources to help people when you didn't have to. I thank you for that. And then there is Judge McVeigh. I had an opportunity to work with him. He has done amazing things in this community with the drug rehab program, with the program where people lose their houses or lose their property because they don't have the money. He has these programs to help people who need help, and he is instituted them. They are his programs, and he has helped so many people. And I want to thank him. These are his programs. He started these programs. And the ones that he didn't start, he is making sure that they are institutionalized, that they are put into the system, and that they are working. He is working to make sure that these programs continue to work for people who don't have a voice. He has been the voice for the poor. He has been the voice for those who have been on drugs, have gotten into trouble and needed some help, a helping hand to pull them out of their situation. I want to thank you, Judge McVeigh. And God has blessed you to go on to another level so you can help the people even at another level in your courtroom by allowing them to work out some of their, I call it, time in the community and giving back. So I want to applaud you for that. And for doing that, Judge McVeigh, you are truly a humanitarian and you deserve some recognition. And I cannot wait for November the 23rd to come, where we can give all of you all the accolades that you so rightfully deserve. I thank you. I thank you. And I look forward to you all continuing to doing great things in our community, because without you, where would Chattanooga be? Where would Chattanooga be? So I am thankful. I want to thank all our elected officials. Yes, our city mayor, Tim Kelly, our county mayor, Wamp. I want to thank Weston Wamp for all the things that he has done. Weston Wamp, you have been right here with me. You have been supportive. You have come out to the Alton Park Development Corporation's headquarters and been a part of our grand opening, our ribbon cutting ceremony. Uh, uh, Mayor Kelly, I want to thank you. You've been a part of the ribbon ceremony when we were awarded this building. I want to thank you for that. All of your contributions in the past. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And for all the ministers that are in this community that have been a part, that have put your hands on what we have done in this community, I want to thank you for that. And all of the businesses, all of the people in this city who have given their time and their money, their resources to make sure that our programs will continue to run. I want to thank Erlanger Hospital. I want to thank Memorial Hospital. There's so many. I want to thank Affordable Dentures and Implants. There are so many folk. The list goes on and on of corporate sponsorships that I can't list them all. But I want to thank those in particular because they have been corporate sponsored in a huge way. And there are many more coming in every day as we speak. So I thank you all, because without you, we wouldn't have the ability to do what we're doing here. Your pledges and donations help us keep the African American Educational and Educational Heritage Museum open. We have had now exhibits on display since June, and now the gallery has changed. We had an exhibit featuring slavery, and now we have changed it to the Civil War. Blacks who have made a contribution to the American Civil War is on exhibit. I want to thank the American Legion Post number 291 because it is their exhibit, And I also want to thank Mr. I just forgive me. I just had a brain a lapse right there. But Edward, Mr. Edward, John Edwards, for contributing some of the artifacts that we have in the Civil War exhibit. We have Civil War rifles in the American Legion Post exhibit. It is amazing. Uniforms, all kinds of artifacts. It is absolutely beautiful in there. And they are adding things every day. So I'm going to talk to them about leaving some of that here to be on permanent exhibit because it is just amazing. I have learned so much from these exhibits. I have learned so much for some of the things that are permanently in our museum. And I'm telling you, for all the children, it is free. If you're a school age kid, for you to come and get educated. I want to thank all of you that have had anything to do with this museum, especially our civil rights activist, Mr. Johnny Holloway, who is a very instrumental. He has been a part of this since day one. He has donated and let us borrow some of his artifacts that are permanently in the museum. I want to thank him. I want to thank him. I want to thank him because sometimes you have to be in that era of time in order to explain it and help folks that were not in that era of time understand how far we've come. And as he said before, I'm about the only one left. He's 80 something years old that can tell you what happened because I'm still here. He and Mr. Reverend Roy Griffith are very good friends because Reverend Roy Griffith also is 80 something years old. These men are full of knowledge, full of knowledge. And it's important for us to understand our history, right? Very important for us to understand where we come from so we'll understand where we're going and how to get there and how not to fall backwards, right? And I like one of the candidates' word when he says, we're not going backwards. No, we're not going backwards, but we are going to learn our history so that we understand how it used to be. And y'all don't want to go back to how it used to be because I was on the edge of the era of time because I'm 59, I'm going on 60. I was on the edge of time, the time era of the civil rights movement, because when I was a child, schools were segregated. And I was one of the first ones that got bused to integrate the schools. So I understand what it's like to go through integration because I was one of those children. I understand what it's like to be denied opportunities to go to college because I'm a product of affirmative action, because I too would have been denied. So let's not boast about today. Let's not talk about how great things are today because it's very easy, just the change of a law. Supreme Court that we've had to turn all this around, all this around. The voting rights come up every year. So what if they say this year we got enough votes to deny voting rights? What you gonna do? Today you got a right. Exercise that right because tomorrow is not promised to none of us. None of us. So exercise that right to vote. Go in and vote. Take your mama, take your grandmama, take your cousins, take your nieces and nephews if they're old enough to vote and they're registered to vote. If they didn't get registered to vote, make sure they get registered for the next time. Because guess what? We still have our local elections coming up in 2025. So you can still register to vote for the local elections. If you missed the national, okay, we'll forgive you. But next year, when it's time to vote for our local people and our state people, you need to be registered to vote. Okay? We got our city council people that are up for reelection. Some of them are running for the first time. If you want to have a say in that, you better get registered. Okay? So let's do this thing, y'all. Let's do this thing. I want to be talking about that, making sure that we're all doing our part to make sure our voices are heard. All right. So that's that. So we done showed y'all the no justice No Peace t-shirt. We talked about the Chattanooga Scenic City chapter of the National Action Network being in the house, and how next year in 2025, we're going to come out like a militia. We're going to come out strong. Why do we need to come out strong? Because it's time. It's time to come out strong. Why is it time to come out strong? Because people are dying. People are suffering. People are depressed. People don't have jobs. People don't have opportunity. People are sick, don't have insurance, nowhere to go. People don't have a place to live. People don't have food on the table. People are hopeless. I mean, come on. National Action Network is going to put into place these things that are going to help resolve these issues for you. But we need you to get involved. We can't do it by ourselves. We need you to get involved. And if you're an expert in some of this stuff, you're an attorney, you're a banker, you're an educator, you're a spiritual leader in this community, okay? You're a doctor of some sort. We need you to step up. God put you in these leadership roles for a reason. Yes, to make some money to take care of your family, but you have a moral obligation. I know I took the Hippocratic Oath. We have a moral and ethical obligation to do goodwill to people. And we are counting on you. I am counting on you, especially my colleagues. I am counting on you to step up and do what you can do. We have people that don't have insurance for dental care. You can help. We have a dental mercy clinic right here. We need you to give an hour or two of your time a month. What's that? Come on and help some people that need your help. I saw some people just the other day. No money, no job, no insurance, because they didn't even qualify for Medicaid. Isn't that something? How do you not qualify for Medicaid? Well, because they don't have dental. They might have the medical part, but they don't have the dental. And if you get the dental, there's an extra charge for that. A little bit, but if you don't have any money, how are you going to pay for that? And maybe you're not old enough. You're too young, but you're too old. How's that? Or you're too old and you're too young. How do you do that? So we need doctors and lawyers and judges and attorneys, spiritual leaders. We need all of you to join NAN. It's only $25 a year. And if you want to do your national lifetime membership, it's $500 and you're done. So I am available. We have fine officers, and we are working on our website right now because we had to get things in order. We had to make sure we were sworn in. And now we are waiting on the federal government to send us our 501c3 tax exemption status back. We have applied and met the criteria and guidelines. We have already registered with the Secretary of State Office Business Division. We already have our EIN number. Now we're waiting on the letter to come back on our Tennessee state tax exemption status. We are in order. We are in order. Our officers are in order. We have some fine officers. We are in order. And baby, we're going to bring it. We're going to bring it. Just wait and see. Y'all know me. Just wait and see. All right. So what else we got to talk about, Michael? What about left off, Robin? I know I took a long time to talk about some stuff. The tickets for the gala. Woo! How did I forget that? The tickets are $75 each. Y'all can afford to do $75 to come out and help celebrate these amazing humanitarians. And we're going to sell out of tickets. I've already sold 5 tables. Okay? I've already sold 5 tables by myself. So I'm telling you, y'all, get these tickets. Come dressed up, looking good. It's going to be dinner. We're going to have a nice dinner. Y'all going to look great. And it's going to be some very VIP, very important people in the audience. I'm telling you, y'all, it is going to be one that you don't want to miss. This year's theme is breaking the chains of human disparity. Breaking the chains of human disparities. You can get your tickets online. You can go to our website. You can go to, what is that? Eventbrite.com. There's a little extra surcharge on it if you go to Eventbrite.com. Or you could just simply call us and get your ticket with no surcharge. We got 8 or 9 officers in the Alton Park Development Corporation on the board that have tickets that's just waiting on you to get a hold of them. So we know Karen, Cassandra, Megan, Renee, James Gilliam, y'all know him as CB, myself, Gloria Thompson. I don't know if I'm leaving out some names. We have tickets. We have tickets. I even got folks helping me sell tickets. So I'm telling you all, it is no reason for you to miss this 10th annual Humanitarian Award, Chattanooga Humanitarian Award Gala, because it's going to be all of that this year. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Last year was fantastic. This year, we're going to top that. Can you imagine topping last year? And guess what? It's going to all be live streamed for you all to watch after the Humanitarian Gala. We want you all to come and be a part of it live and in person, but we're going to make it available after the show for you all to watch because we want you all to share. So, I think that wraps it up for me today. Woo! I had a good show today. I have really let you all have some good information. That's what we do. What's happening in Chattanooga? What's happening in your neck of the woods? Y'all just heard it. We got voting going on. We got Chattanooga National Action Network in effect. We've got the gala going on. We got the African American Educational and Heritage Museum going on right now. And thanks to our educator, Mr. Harold Bryson, for being our educator. We are open enrollment will start in December for his next class, and the class will be in February, Black History Month. And he is excited. And we just talked last month about the course. We want you all to enroll. So we will keep you informed on when open enrollment starts for that class. I am going to be in that class. I am excited about learning about African history. Come on, y'all. We are excited about African history. Why? Because African history is American history. So if you're not up on your stuff with African history, you don't know American history. You don't know American history unless you know all of it. So we are excited about giving this community the opportunity to learn that part of history that makes American history great that it is today, the great history that we have today, the rich history of Africa. We need to learn it, and we need to understand it. And I think when we can understand African history, where we came from and everything that we've been through in this country, I think we'll all love each other a little bit better. What y'all think? I think we will. I think if we learn African history and not be afraid of it and understand how I call it, how rich that culture is. You know, when you first come into the museum, you'll be greeted by all the Africans and African queens and African kings, the pictures and the stories about each African queen and king. And I'm just blown away every time I read about it. And then you put it together with the Bible and you say, this is who they were talking about. They were an African queen. They were an African king. Are you kidding me? So it's very important if you believe in the Bible. You know, if you believe in the Bible, okay, no matter which version you got, King James, whatever, and you believe it from Genesis to Revelation, then when you start studying in African history, you're going to find the parallel. It's going to probably blow your mind. It's going to probably blow your mind because you'll learn that we are all one. We are all one. We come from the same place, and that's God Almighty Himself. And He just populated this world, put a few of us over here, a few of us over there, a few of us over there and yonder. But we are all His people. We're all His people. Ain't no time for us to be jealous of one another and start doing, because we all kinfolk. you know what I'm saying? You got some cousins you don't like, I'm sure. Some you might can't stand. But guess what? You can't change the fact that that's your relative. It's still your kinfolk. You can't change the fact that I'm your cousin, or you my uncle, or you my auntie. Oh boy, it's about to go down. It's about to go down. I love you all. You know today is Saturday, so you know what I'm about to say. Tomorrow is Sunday. You got to find a church home. You got to find somewhere. You have to. Let me correct my English because people correct me. You have to find somewhere you can go and worship. It's just too many churches. There's a church on every corner in Chattanooga. But if you can't, for whatever reason, whatever situation you got going on in your life, I don't know, then you can always watch service by live stream from your bed, from your kitchen, anywhere in your house, because live stream is available almost at every church now. There's no reason for you not to go and worship the Lord. Give him some praise for all the blessings he's bestowed upon you. And before I close out, I want all of you to pray for me, my family, in particular my daughter Megan, as she is having some health issues. And also the fact that our family dog of 17 years, 16 to 17 years, we had to finally put her to rest. We funeralized her. Well, we haven't funeralized her. Her ashes will be back on Tuesday. But we had a service and we had to put Sophie down because she had last stage of melanoma or cancer. And we treated it once and it came back tenfold within 2 months. And it spread all down her throat, all around her neck, and we could see the tumor. She stopped eating Monday. She couldn't swallow and she couldn't even drink water. We tried to put water in the palm of our hand to let her wet her tongue. And I said, Megan, it is time. You know, the life expectancy of a dog is what, 10 to 13 years? We had her for 16 great years. And she was one of the best friends we could ever say we've ever had. Beautiful dog, beautiful. I did a tribute to her. And even when we laid her down, we were confused because she was still looking like her eyes were big and brown and pretty, and she was still walking. But the veterinarian said, it is time. You know, if you walk out of here with her, you'll be back within a few days because you're going to be starving her because she can't eat. That was the hardest thing to do, was to take, and we call her our family member because she's been with us for 16 years. We love Sophie. Everybody in the family that knows Sophie loves Sophie. And that was the hardest thing to do, was to watch the veterinarian give her a dose of medicine to put her to sleep. She was still breathing when we left because they didn't stop the heart rate until we were gone. That's when they euthanized her. So they let us walk out. So she was still the memory of that day. It was beautiful because we know we did the right thing for her. It was the humane thing to do. And so I want to thank God for allowing Sophie to live 3 or 4 years beyond life expectancy so that my daughter Megan could have a best friend. She truly was her best friend, and we loved her. So y'all pray for Megan, pray for our family, and just pray for us in general. But we're going to be all right, because guess what? Just like there's a beginning, there's always an end. We all have to walk through that door, whether you're a dog or a human. It doesn't matter. Whether you like dogs or not, we love dogs, okay? But you have to enter. Everything comes to an end. And you have to be ready to embrace it. You have to be ready to embrace it, whether it's you, another family member, your dog, your cat, whatever. You have to be ready to embrace it when it's time, and we embraced it. So I thank God for all the things that he did for us and all the time you let us have Sophie. I thank you for that, Lord. And everything that we do, we will continue to give you the praise and the glory and the honor forever. Forever and ever and ever and ever, because you are God and we love you. And on that note, you all have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you on November the 23rd. Reach out to us. You all know how to reach me, 423-331-8878. That's my number. Call me. I always answer. Okay, I love you and be blessed.